right out in front of the resort. My favourite part, and it's not a coral, it's so cool. Look at this. We've got a Y-shaped carving in the rock, or channel I guess you might say, with the corals that are overhanging, and the water just absolutely drops down about 1.5 metres every time the tide recedes, and then comes bursting up when the tide comes back in, or the surge comes back in I should say. Look at that. That is amazing. How fantastic an aquarium related idea would that be? I'm sure someone could build it out there. And that flow not only is coming linear or surging with the actual waves like this, it's got this upwelling and then this down, I call it downwelling. Look at that. Down just say that again, Ads. What was it?
Oh, that was a big one.
Thanks, buddy. Oh, look at this coral. How cool is that? That's beautiful. Beautiful. Look at the way it just falls down. Reverse flow. I'm telling you now, it's only a new trend. You're going to put power heads on the bottom and they're going to blow straight up intermittently. What? Wait for it to come up. So this guy down here, this coral, is absolutely amazing. It's got the same coloration of what I've been calling Aquapora robusta, with the green base, the white tips and the pink hues. But that to me looks like a robusta which has been really flattened out because of the water movement, which is completely different to the other way that it grows. If you know the difference, or you know the identity of this coral, please let me know. Out there is what Az was talking about. What looks like a lobophyton. I don't think it's a sarcophyton. How's that? Absolutely amazing. Trying to show you guys the cloud cakes that are so common up there on the reef flat. A bit dicey though, because you get a tendency to get swept up onto the top of the rockwork at the coral. If that happens and you'll find yourself in that situation, hang on, wait for the water to start dragging out, and then get down low as fast as you can and cruise the bottom outwards. Don't try and find it at the surface.
I'm just here right along this wave edge. Check out the amount of flow pulling that coral rubble back down the bank.
I never partaked in the concept of microbubbling. The idea being that at a certain duration or certain frequency, I guess, during the day or more commonly during the night, a simple appliance timer would turn an air pump on that would pump air to a air stone which was just sitting in front of the return pump's suction, and that return pump would send not only the water but a whole stack of bubbles to fill the aquarium display up. And I'm looking at this acropora, and there's a little bit of a fall reef here, and I'm looking at the sheer, and I'm hoping you can see it, I'm 100% sure you can see it, the sheer amount of bubbling that's going on every time the water goes out and then comes in immediately and breaks over these corals. And I'm thinking, there's not many things that happen in nature that aren't good for nature in some way, that don't actually have some bigger purpose. So let me get on a little bit of a my thought process, and you guys can poo-poo me if you wish, but this is just my thought process. We strive to have that boundary layer of water that surrounds corals broken. So the boundary layer of water, the boundary layer is a very fine, small, thin layer of water that surrounds the surface of the coral. It's the same with a boundary layer of air around objects and people. And that boundary layer is a fairly slow-moving or stagnant layer of water, or in the case of us, of course, air. We strive to break that boundary layer. There's our coral down there. Because that boundary layer is potentially a blockage for the transfer of gases from the water to and from the coral, the transfer of waste from the coral, and the transfer of minerals and vitamins and trace elements and fatty acids, amino acids to the coral. So we want to break that boundary layer. We've done that, or we try and do that, by putting more and more water flow in the actual aquarium. We want more pumps, random speeds, different directions. We want to make chaos and actually try and push. How's that for microbubbles? Push the water enough through the coral to, to strip that boundary layer away and do all those things I just discussed. That takes a fair bit of energy. It takes a fair bit of equipment and a fair bit of flow. But what I've noticed about air is that it seems to be a lot easier. So my theory, and this is my theory, feel free to poo-poo me nicely, is it only takes a very little bit of energy input in the way of an air pump or a castle surge device to actually fill the entire tank or a region of a tank with air, with microbubbles. And that air very, very easily and very quickly fills the water volume and moves around. And that air finds itself everywhere, including below the coral and in the coral. And that air, being air in water, has to go up. It has to. So it goes up through the coral, between the branches. It's got a very high surface area to volume ratio, being a small bubble. It attracts mucus and other organic matter, just like in the protein skimmer. And then it raises up through the coral, pulls that waste, pulls that mucus with it to the surface where it can be drained over into our overflows, or in this case here, sent back down into the water volume, gets mixed up, microorganisms, plankton, food, rada. And seeing what I'm seeing here at Vanuatu, I actually think there might be something to be said for repinking the microbubble in a reef aquarium. A reef aquarium that has this kind of coral, this kind of acropora coral. Obviously, if you've got yourself some heliofungias, you probably wouldn't be thinking about doing this. I'm wondering, because I have my GoPro here, I'm wondering if I should get myself down into that water, hang on to the ladder, and try and get you guys some actual footage of what's going on just down there. This might be a moment when my wife says, geez, I wish I got you travel insurance. Doesn't look like the water's moving very much, but that's potentially a little bit dangerous, I guess you might say. Drop this well, and the bubbles is going to create a lot of impairment of the visibility down there. And I'll show you, but it's true. I'm about 6 meters of water, and you really can't see much coral down there. There's a bit of an idea for you on the concept of not only water movement, but the importance of microbubbles and air in the actual aquarium and the reef. I'm going to head back now, see if I can get back onto that jetty just over there without falling ass over tip. I'll see you next time, very soon, on the Australian Quest. Look out, minor injury. Oh, it farted out the back. If it's everywhere, it means you put enough on. I look like Donald Trump. So this guy down here, this coral, is absolutely amazing. It's got the same coloration of what I've been calling Acropora robusta, with the green base, the white tips and the pink hues. But that to me looks like a robusta which has been really flattened out because of the water movement, which is completely different to the other way that it grows. If you know the difference, or you know the identity of this coral, please let me know. I don't. Is it spatulata? Is that a spatulata, Ads? Is that a spatulata? Spat.